Ugh, these album covers suck. Which ones? Find out tonight in the Hairband Basement. Welcome to the Hairband Basement. I'm your host, Basement Brian. A few episodes back, I did it was about album covers that sucked. All right, with that, tonight I am talking about those crappy album covers that are just, they make no sense. They look terrible, or they're just god-awful shit. And there were some bad ones, some really bad ones. So I decided, let's revisit that, because there's a lot of bad album covers out there. First, I'm going to say this. I said it last time. Any band that has just a picture of themselves on the cover and they have a good album title, I don't understand that. That just seems like a waste. Another thing I don't like is when there's nothing, no picture, and it's just the name of the band. I know Motley Crue did it for their 94 album. This leads into our first album. Let's look at Kiss Revenge from 92. Oh, come on! What the hell are we looking at here? Is that supposed to be the side of a battleship? I don't understand why they went with this. This was Kiss's big comeback album, and a lot of people that are Kiss fans say that this is their best album without the makeup. It's okay. I'm not a huge Kiss fan, so I'm kind of biased in that way. I'm a bigger fan of makeup Kiss from the 70s. Once they got rid of all their original members, they kind of struggled to keep up with the times. They were trendsetters in the 70s. In the 80s, they were trend followers. And if you look at some of their style, it looks like they're trying to keep up with what's going on, what's popular. In this album, for some reason, Kiss decided to look like they're all in the Matrix. They're going to go fight goddamn computer viruses, where the fuck that movie was about. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I don't get this. They could have done something better. Is there Revenge the Metal on the side? I don't understand this. That makes no sense to me. All right, the next album from one of my favorite bands. I mean, probably one of my top 3 bands. Especially their first 4 albums are amazing. I'm going with Lillian Axe's third album, Poetic Justice. What the fuck? What the hell is this? I don't understand this. Is that like the bassist's grandmother or something? Is that supposed to be Lillian? Is that Lillian with the axe gonna start chopping away to fight for some just cause? And they did, I mean, as bad as the old lady is on the front there, they did go the old route of having a picture of the band on the album cover, and there they are on the background in a framed picture for some reason. I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's like she's got gloves on, so I guess she's used to swinging this thing and doesn't want to callous up her hands when she does her crochet next time, or fucking start knitting, or whatever grandmothers do. But yeah, it's just, I don't get it. And it's a great album. This is a really good album. The first 4 are phenomenal. This one might be my favorite by them, though Love and War comes pretty close too. But this just, I mean, this woman was also in the video for their first single, and the only single off this album, No Matter What, which was a cover, and they decided instead of having True Believer, which was gaining some traction on radio, and making a video for that, I guess the record company decided, let's go with the cover, and then we'll put the old lady from the cover in there and have her chase people with an axe. I swear, record companies, they did sometimes the dumbest thing. This band got fucked by record companies over and over, but I don't know what this was all about. They could have done better on this, but this is just great album, terrible album cover. All right, the next album we'll look at is the follow-up to Whitesnake's huge album, their self-titled 87 album, which that album is kind of lame, and they went with that circular medallion disc, whatever the hell it is, something Mr. T would wear, and they stuck with that ever since. But I'm talking about the cover of Slip of the Tongue. Let's look at that.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know what this is. It's like some kind of sealed, like it's like a letter sealed up with wax they used to do back in the olden days to kind of hide their messages to each other. I mean, it's got the Whitesnake seal on that, but I don't understand how's that the slip of the tongue. I really don't get why they would do something like this. Um, I guess David Coverdale would send a letter like this out to someone all sealed up. Right, here you go. Don't break if the seal's broken, that means that our information has been compromised. But yeah, I don't know. This album, I remember being disappointed when I got it because it's not as good as the self-titled album from '87. Because that's when Sykes got booted, and they brought on Steve Vai, and he was a great guitarist. I don't think he was a great fit for Whitesnake. There's something about it that just didn't seem to click or really work out. Though he did do all the guitar work on it, and there are some killer songs on this album. I mean, the title track's pretty good. The remake of Fool for Your Lovin' is really good. Sailing Ships is a great tune. Judgment Day rules. I mean, there's really good songs on this, but it didn't have the same appeal as the one before it, and definitely did not sell as much. It's a good album, and I think I kind of learned to like it more over time. But yeah, if you're Whitesnake or David Coverdale, because everyone else was just hired guns for the band, you're probably disappointed in this album. I'm definitely disappointed in this album cover. It could have done better. All right, the next one, a fantastic debut album. Great. These guys should have been big. Another band that should have been big. I'm talking about the debut by Babylon AD.
Fuck.
I mean, look at this thing. Is it supposed to be a cuneiform or something? Is it supposed to be ancient text? Like, what the hell? What the fuck is this written on? It looks like it's an old tablet they found in ancient ruins. Indiana Jones had to fight Nazis to get this fucking thing. It just makes no sense. They could have done anything. You had song titles like "The Kid Goes Wild." There you go. Make that the album cover. Put something cool on the cover, or "Bango the Bell." Anything. They just threw this out here, and it's like, oh yeah, we found this in ancient Sumeria or Egypt or something. Makes no sense to me. This band should have been bigger though. There was some. This album is really good, and if they released "Desperate" as a single, it's a fantastic ballad. They easily could have been big. I think that's one of the top ballads of the genre. Easily top 5, if not maybe top 3. But yeah, they could have done something more with this cover. And then they did a lame thing in the second one. They put the picture, Nothing Sacred. On that album, they just put a picture of the band. So the first 2 albums, your covers aren't that great. Who am I to say? But then again, I got the bonus of hindsight, and I can see that this album didn't do that good. And sure, why not? Let's blame the album cover. All right, the next album, talking about successful, easily the most successful album on we'll look at today, and that's the Black Album by Metallica.
You serious?
This fucking thing was just called the Black Album. That's not the official title. Yeah, if you look at the picture, you see a picture of a snake in there. Why isn't it called the Snake Album? Or they could have just named it Don't Tread on Me. You had a song named that. I don't understand this, but they decided it's just not. I guess officially it's self-titled. They never gave it any kind of real title. Everyone just calls it the Black Album because it's all black. No, like Spinal Tap.
How much more black could this be? And the answer is none. None
Is that good?
more black.
But I mean, this is the album that really put a rift amongst Metallica fans. It is the one that broke them big and made them probably one of the hugest bands in the world now. Almost over 30 years later, this thing is still massive. I think it sold 20 million. And I think in the last 2 minutes, it sold another 4 million. So it's successful. Who am I to say anything? But I mean, yeah, there's the fans that they're the fans that love this band before this album came out, and there are fans that love this band after this album came out. Me, I like the first few albums. I'm a huge Cliff Burton fan. I love this playing. I thought he easily the most talented member Metallica has ever had in their band. You listen to a lot of their early stuff, and Injustice for All is famous for this. The bass is lowered. Why would you lower Cliff Burton's bass? The guy was an unbelievable talent, and Lars, like the dipshit he is, decided, let's lower the bass, and no one wants to hear that. Good, yeah, nice one, Lars. I like this album. I am, like I said, I am a fan of the earlier stuff. The first 4 albums are fantastic. I like this one. I can do without the 2 ballads. Nothing Else Matters and Unforgiven. Those are total skips for me. I thought it was dumb that Metallica was doing ballads. And Inner Sandman, I don't have to listen to ever again for the rest of my life. That thing is overplayed, overdone, and I am over it. But they should have done something with this album cover though. It's kind of weak. It's laziness. It looks like they were lazy with this. Said, fuck it. Let's put nothing on it. And maybe someone said, how about a snake? All right, shut up. We'll put a snake on it. Just to shut your face. We'll put a snake on this goddamn thing. I'd like to take a little break in the action to thank you all for tuning in. It is greatly appreciated. And let me talk about a couple of other things I got going on. First, you can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at HB Basement. I'm always talking music there. And second, you can find the Hairband Basement radio show on Stationhead. Download the app, and every Friday night at 8:30 Eastern, you can hear deep tracks from the greatest genre of music ever, hair metal. I also want to go through all my usual YouTube bullshit. Like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, or go to hell, all that usual stuff. It helps the channel out. You know the drill. You've seen other places do this numerous times. Now, back to the entertainment. The next album was from a band that was huge around the same time Metallica broke big. And this thing was put off for years. And no one thought it'd ever get released. But it was released. It's got a shit album cover, and not for nothing, it's a shit album. But I'm talking about Chinese Democracy by Guns N' Roses. Look at this. What the fuck am I looking at? It's a bike. Why? Is that a delivery bike, or is that someone going to market in some backwater province of China and they're bringing their wares to the fucking market? They're just sitting there riding their bike with all their stuff. It just makes no sense. I thought the album title was pretty stupid too. I don't believe China really had a solid democracy anyway. So but this thing, I remember this thing, everyone was talking about it. Everyone thought it was never going to come out. And at one point, it was Dr. Pepper said, if this album comes out this year, I believe it was 2008 it came out, we will give everybody a free Dr. Pepper. And they released it the same year. So I don't know how many Dr. Peppers they gave out. Probably more free Dr. Peppers were given out than people bought this album. I don't like this one. This one, we waited years for this thing, and it kind of stunk. If it was a Chinese Democracy, they'd vote this fucking thing down. All right, the next two actually are by Poison. No, not that one. That one's iconic. Yeah, I mean, we all know what it looks like, but it did kind of set the tone for what glam metal would be about in the 80s. And I'm talking about their second album, Open Up and Say Ah. Nope, not that. Not the full one that we all know with the tongue lady, all that shit. No, that was a problem. In 1988, that was a problem with people, and parent groups got upset about it because, ooh, Demon Lady has a long Gene Simmons tongue and has claws on her hands. Times have changed. That's tame by now. But no, the shitty album cover is the censored one that they did. There, they blocked off everything. So it just has eyes and says open up and say ah. No fucking clue what's going on there. That makes no sense now. That's just dumb. They could have just put a picture of a fish, a big bass. They could have just put a picture of a fish, a big sturgeon or something, or a bass with a big open mouth and say open up and say ah. It's just dumb. But with this covered up, you have no idea what's going on. Now it just looks like the eyes of some Sith Lord. It's like Darth Maul, open up and say, ah. It makes no sense. This is stupid. But you wanted to sell albums in Walmart, and I guess it worked because this thing sold millions. Though the cover of Your Mama Don't Dance sucks. That's terrible. The next album is also by Poison. This is when they finally got rid of CC DeVille from partying too much. Who'd have thought a hairband from the 80s partied too much? Oh, you have to be bad if Poison's booting you if you're partying too much. But Richie Kotzen filled in on guitar for this one. And I'm not a huge fan of the album. A lot of people like it. I'm talking about Native Tongue.
What in the ass?
I mean, look at this. I don't understand what the fuck this is. It's like it's a shrunken voodoo head. What the shit is this?
Whoa, hey, what are you doing? Hey, stop it! Hey, you're messing up here! Come on! Whoa! Whoa! Stop it! Whoa! Hey, this might be a good look for me.
It makes no sense. There's no tongue sticking out of his mouth.
This might be a good look for me.
And the Poison logo is that weird, I don't know, purplish, whatever the hell that is. That's not the neon green we all know about. We all know and love with Poison. But, I mean, it would make more sense to have the Open Up and Say Ah woman on the cover. She's got a tongue. There you go, Native Tongue. That might have still been a problem, though. People still might have been upset about that. But at least it would make more sense. And maybe by the time Native Tongue was released, maybe people chilled out a little bit, weren't so uptight about this stupid shit. But this album cover is just, it just looks dumb. It's some zombie fucking totem pole looking fucking thing. It stinks. All right, this one, I love this album. The album cover is just, I don't know what the hell's going on or what they were thinking. It is my favorite album by Def Leppard, and I think the last, one of the last good albums they had. I think Pyromania is a 10 out of 10 as well. But this is my favorite. High and Dry, Def Leppard's second album. What is this? I mean, I kind of get the guy jumping into a pool with no water in it. That kind of makes sense. But the way it looks, you could tell that it's, they didn't have Photoshop in 81. So I don't know why. It looks fake. It just looks fake. But then to really make it more confusing, you just got people looking up for reasons. What are they doing? Are they all supposed to be looking up at, are they all looking up at the guy diving? But then the people above and to the side of him aren't even, I don't know what the faces even mean. I always thought that was dumb. Why they would put that in there, just a bunch of random faces looking up. I mean, I could probably find out why, but I'm too lazy. Who gives a shit? It just looks stupid. Even if there is a legit reason, it just looks dumb, ridiculous, and really, and it's such a good album. It's my favorite album by them. And this is really the last album before they started going all that wacky 80s neon hard triangle shaped things and stuff like Hysteria and Adrenalize. This is the last actual real album they had, album cover they had, and all of a sudden it was just this weird, hey, look, it's all cartoony computer animation looking thing. They did it with Pyromania, they did it with, like I said, Hysteria, and they did it again with Adrenalize. It's just, I don't know, that became their thing all of a sudden. Still, great album, terrible cover. All right, the next one is from Skid Row's third album, Subhuman Race. Let's look at that. What is this? Is this supposed to be someone's denim jacket? I don't know what's going on here. It's bedazzled.
Introducing the Bedazzler, the machine that gives your wardrobe a new flair. Transform your ordinary tops and t-shirts into a new fabulous look with rhinestones and studs.
It's just blue with, I don't know what is going on there. Some kind of gold, whatever the hell, gold trim. They even got rid of the old logo that looked cool and went with this blocky thing. I don't know. This is just lazy. Anytime a band just puts their name on there, they're not even trying at this point. When did this come out? 93? 93, 94. Might have been 94. Not as good as their first two albums. Not even close. There's some decent songs on it. But I think the album cover is just as bad as the album. It's really... I try every year with this thing. I put it in. I'm like, yeah. No, nope. I'd rather hear Quicksand Jesus put on goddamn big guns, anything else. This is just doesn't do it for me. And this was the last album with Sebastian Bach on it, which I think he's not getting back with the band. Everyone says, oh, he should come back. He's going to make millions when they go on tour. No, they're not. They're not. They're not going to sell out stadiums because Sebastian Bach is back. And I guarantee you that tour will last 2 dates and the band will be like, oh, that's right. That's why we hate this fucking asshole. And they'll boot him and that'll be the end. Tour canceled. Speaking of Sebastian Bach, that brings me to the next album and the cover that stinks. Sebastian Bach's Child Inside the Man or Within the Man. What the fuck is it? Child Within the Man.
What the hell is that?
This is just, all right. I'm going to say this. Sebastian Bach's dad made this picture. He painted it or drew it, whatever the fuck. Kind of makes me feel bad. But when I first saw this, I could have sworn that person up in the upper left was a girl. And I was confused as what the hell is this thing supposed to be? That's Sebastian Bach, apparently, when he was a 12-year-old girl, I guess. And then you have a picture, of a car on a farm. And I guess that's Sebastian Bach next to the car. I don't understand this at all. And then you look closely, the license plate's the Child Within the Man. I mean, not for nothing. Sebastian Bach still has to fucking grow up. It's 2025 and he still acts like he's fucking 13. Bitching about shit, talking shit. He does it all the time. He's done stupid things his whole career. And it's not the child within the man. It's the man that's acting like a fucking child. That's just Sebastian Bach at this point. Good thing I mean, this album actually is pretty good. I'll say that. This is a really good album. I think it's his best solo album since Angel Down, which is a fucking great album. And the ballad off of that, By Your Side, that should have been a big hit. That you listen to that album, it kind of has a lot of vibe, like a lot of Slave to the Grind vibes to it. It's really good. I think this is his best one since. Good album, shit album cover. All right, the last one is by a band that has a thing going for years now. I'm talking about Stryper and their Jesus thing. I don't want to call it a gimmick because I don't think people's beliefs are a gimmick. But their first full-length album, Soldiers Under God's Command. They look like, I guess an army should dress like bees. They got their armored van. Okay. And they all got their guns. Ooh, look out. And it's just, it just doesn't look right. Like, what are you doing? Because that's what Jesus would have done. To spread the word, he'd carry a machine gun. Yeah, that's not a good look. It really isn't. I mean, Crusades are over, guys. We're not going to start, retaking the Holy Land. That's not how things work anymore. But, yeah, I always thought the yellow and black thing was kind of like, okay, all right, that's your thing. We get it. But it's like, this album, it's a picture of the band. They're doing that same old lazy thing. A picture of the band, except we give them guns and we painted up the A-Team van to look like a goddamn bumblebee. And we're good. It's a good album. Don't get me wrong. It's a really good album. But yeah, they went through this for a few albums until they decided against the law to look all badass and get rid of the stripe stuff. That album could make a show like this, because that one's not that good either. But yeah, I just never liked the cover of that album. Great album. Yeah, that cover, blech. And that's a few more album covers that suck. Thank you all for watching. If you got any other suggestions of album covers that stink, put it right there in the comments. And until the next time, keep your hair high and your metal horns even higher. Take care.
This might be a good look for me.
Brian, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, no.